So, hi, we're coming up on time to have a test over what we've done in chapters 6 and 7, which we started back before spring break, but we've done most of online these past couple weeks. So, let me talk about how that's going to work and help you get prepared and review for that test a bit. Now, on Canvas, I have posted, there's the important formulas card that hopefully you've already seen, but that is a copy of the card that probably should have come with your textbook. So you may have a physical copy of it, but if not, it's there online. Looks like, let me bring it up on screen here. It's got some pages of formulas. So it's got the formulas that we used in chapter 6 and 7 for things like confidence intervals and sample sizes. So if you have this, you'll have those formulas. And it also has all the tables that we've been using. Table E for the standard normal distribution. It has table F for the t distribution that we were using to find the t sub alpha over 2 values for confidence intervals in section 7.2. And table G, the chi-square distribution that we were using to find chi-square values for confidence intervals for standard deviations in section 7.4. So if you have this card, you'll have all the tables that you need, and you'll have all or almost all the formulas that you need. If there's any formulas that aren't on here, I will put them on the back page of the test itself. So you'll be allowed to use this on the test, and you'll be allowed to use, on this test, I'm allowing you to use either an actual physical calculator or a calculator app on your phone. So in case you don't have your calculator with you, you can use a calculator app on your phone. Now the way the test is going to work is I'm going to send it to you as an attachment to a Canvas message. You're going to open it up. If you have a printer, you can print it out. If not, you can just look at it on the screen of your computer or the screen of your phone and work out the answers to the questions on paper. So you'll be writing out the answers, and then you'll be scanning them and submitting them through Canvas. So I posted a little page on how to do that. You might have already been doing that for your other classes. I've had some of my students do that for some of my other classes, and it's worked out pretty well. But if you haven't done that yet, or you want to make sure that you know how and you try it out before the day of the test, I've put up an assignment where you can practice scanning and uploading something. And if you do that, I'll give you a few bonus homework points if you do that before the day of the test. Anyway, so that's how you'll be taking the test. And of course, I've got posted on Canvas down below all the regular lesson stuff, the review materials. I've got a review sheet for the test, the answers to the review sheet, and just today, Saturday, I posted a new and improved version of this review answers. So if you happen to look at the answers to the review problems before today or downloaded a copy before today, I have uploaded a new version that I hope goes into a little more detail about how to do all the review problems. I've also put up a sample test and solutions to the sample test, including an improved version of the first couple pages that do a little better job of explaining how to do everything. So let me show you the review sheet. It's just got a list of review problems similar to the kinds of things I'll be asking you on the test. So if we were meeting in person, we could go over these problems together in class, but I did post answers to all the review problems where I explain the steps that you have to go through to answer all of those. Now with this test, what a lot of people seem to have trouble with, well, maybe not a lot of people, but people who do have trouble on this test, what they often have trouble with is like knowing what formula to use or what procedure to use to answer each question. Because when we went through chapters 6 and 7, we spent time talking about the various different topics, but the test is going to have them all sort of all together on the same test. And so you have to know, okay, is this where I use this formula or where I use this formula? And pay attention to what it says in the problem. Read carefully. So, like, for example, the problem will probably say something like, find the 99% confidence interval of the true population mean. So that's telling you what it is you're supposed to do. You're supposed to find a confidence interval for a mean. So make sure that the formula you use is a formula for a confidence interval for a mean. There's another problem that says find the 90% confidence interval of the true proportion of people who like nuts and brownies. So that's asking for a confidence interval, but that's a confidence interval for a proportion. So you would use the formula for confidence interval for a proportion. So make sure you read the question carefully, and it'll usually tell you what it is it's asking you to find. So pay attention to the words that it uses so that you know what formula to use. And to give you some extra help, on the back of the review sheet, I've got a chart that kind of summarizes the different keywords to look for as you read through a problem. It might ask, what is the probability? Might ask, find the confidence interval. Might ask, how large a sample, or find the sample size. So look for those keywords that tell you what it is you're trying to find or do or work through. The chart also tells which section we covered that in, what the formula or procedure that you would use for each thing. And for some of these, there is a graphing calculator function. So if you have a graphing calculator or a graphing calculator app and you want to use that built-in function on that problem, on some of those, you can. And if you do that on the test, I would strongly recommend that you write down on the test how you put it into your calculator, what calculator function you used, so that I know what you put into the calculator, so that if what you got out is not the right answer, I'll at least know how you got that and whether you were on the right track. Maybe you just punched the buttons wrong, maybe you used the wrong function, maybe you put the numbers in the wrong order. But if I know how you got your answer, you have a much better chance of getting partial credit. So you can either use the formulas and tables without any special calculator functions, or if you have a graphing calculator and you want to use the calculator functions, that gives you a shortcut way of doing some of the problems. Now, I don't want you to refer to this chart while you're taking the test. I won't let you use it on the test itself. It's stuff that I want you to know and be aware of and keep in mind to kind of help you as you're preparing for the test. Okay, these are the kinds of different problems that could be on there. And for each one of them, here's the formula you use, or here's how you do it, and these are the words to watch out for, that sort of thing. So I'm not going to go through all the review problems in a video, because I did post the answers to the review sheet, and I hope I've explained all the steps well enough that you can see how I got my answers. I really recommend that you try working through either the problems on the review sheet or the sample test that I have posted, or both, to make sure you're doing everything right, putting everything into your calculator correctly, and getting everything done in the right order and all of that, so that on the day of the test, I won't be asking you to do anything new that you haven't done before. If you do have questions, please ask me anytime before the day of the test. I'll be glad to help you out, work through things with you. If there's enough demand, I could post additional videos or have some sort of a virtual office hour if enough people think that would be helpful. So look over what I have posted for the review materials. If you still need to get caught up on watching the videos, working through the homework quizzes, looking over the notes, anything like that, make sure you get that done before Wednesday. And then the test is supposed to be Wednesday, pretty much the same time that we used to be having our regular class, 2 o'clock. And I'm trying to allow enough time for you to handle any of the technical issues on opening up the test and working it out and scanning it and sending it back to me through Canvas. If you're not sure that you're going to be able to do the test at that time, like if you're working or if the computer that you're planning to use will be in use by somebody else in your family at that time, if you have some sort of conflict like that on Wednesday afternoon between 2 and 4, just let me know ahead of time and we can arrange a different time for you to have the test. Okay? But unless I hear from you by 2 o'clock on Wednesday, I will send you the test through a Canvas message. You'll work it out on paper and you'll scan your work and submit it through Canvas. So hopefully if I don't hear from you before Wednesday, everything's good, you don't have any questions, and you don't have any conflicts with the time. If that's not true, if you do have questions, if you do have a conflict, let me know.